about a cosplay because I'm going to an anime convention for the first time in literally like a year and a half. It has been a while, and if you guys have seen my Instagram where I have been yapping, where is it at? Have been currently obsessed with the Apothecary Diaries. I have just started season 1 and I am caught up to season 2 and waiting for new episodes to release on the site that I am watching. No, it is not Crunchyroll. Yeah, so I have actually been collecting the manga for the Apothecary Diaries, but I love this series and I'm kind of on a manga ban, so when the anime came to Netflix, I was like, you know what, I got Netflix, I might as well watch it. I watched 24 episodes in 2 days. Yeah. And then I started season 2 the next day. Yeah. And then I watched the rest of it in 2 to 3 days. Yeah. So you can say that I've really binged this show and I've loved every second of it. I love the mystery. I love the poison and how Mao Mao is obsessed with it. I love Jinshi and how he is so in love with Mao Mao, but she is so stupidly oblivious. And I just love everything about the story. And so when I heard that one of my local cons is coming back that I didn't actually go to last year, I was like, you know what? Let's see if I can rush order a cosplay for Mao Mao. So this was the cosplay that I got. The specific one is this one, which is the Garden Party Mao Mao costume. And I bought it off Amazon because, again, I have a week at the time that I'm making this video. A week to get everything prepared for this con. But I really wanted to go as Mao Mao. I really wanted to go as Mao Mao, so that's why I'm rush ordering this. But the costume, as always, is not sized perfectly or right by any means. So I bought this cosplay right over here. This is the one that I'm showing you because I'm calling it out because I hate it. Anyway, I bought this cosplay off of Amazon and it's pretty pricey. And the reason I bought the pricier one than some of the cheaper ones is because, again, I could get it with Prime 2-day shipping. Because, again, I'm going to a convention in a week and I need this to be done in a week, and I knew there's usually some problem that I have with the costume, so I wanted to have it early. I got it, and the top piece is huge. It is way too big on me. I always usually scale up the size for my cosplays because I've been doing this for a while and I know what it's like to get a costume that's too small and disappointment happens because you can't even wear it. So I usually size up and I was like, you know what, if I need to take it in, I can take it in. That's easy peasy. So when I got the cosplay and I saw that the top piece was oversized, I was like, that's completely fine, no worries. The skirt is a little long on me because I'm like 4'11", 5 feet, whatever number I am, and it's a little bit long, but it's not long enough that I need to really take it in, so I'm like, oh, that's cool. But then I tried to put on the belt, and even weirdly enough, a ribbon that has nothing to do with tying around your actual body or waist, it is literally just a decoration bow, but it is so short that it does not do the intended purpose. You literally cannot even tie this bow because it is so small. There's not enough length to it, and the actual ribbon that you're supposed to tie around yourself, weirdly enough, is too small. So I have a top piece that is too big and a ribbon that is too small. So this is a video where I have finally, after years of postponing my sewing and cosplay career, I have brought it all back to show you guys an updated cosplay because I want to wear this costume. So we're con crunching. That's what we're doing. So I whipped out my sewing machine and I started sewing and getting work on the first piece. But I'm gonna have to go to the store and buy some other stuff. So first and foremost, let me show you guys what I did to the top piece to make it fit me better. Look at this. This is the skirt. This is my feet poking out. It is literally all the way up here. This will be a pain in the butt to take in. I'm going to show you guys some of the progress. So let me unpin this side so you can really see. This is where this is where the shoulder is supposed to be. This costume, by the way, is an XXL, and I always get them bigger just because usually the pieces are always small, and in this case, of course they are, but weirdly enough, the top is way too big, but everything else is like, either like the skirt is decently sized, or like the accessories are just way too small, especially weirdly enough, this bow over here, this is supposed to be a really long bow in the front, but this is not the bow that she wears in the costume. So anyway, this is where I have cut for the like little seam up here to be, so I'll just have to take this in just a little bit. I'm going to cut off this piece and sew it onto here. Basically, it's like this in and out method. You just kind of have to flip it, but I'm gonna try to get as close as I can to this line because it is lined with another fabric, so I gotta be careful about that when I cut into it. Or I could even just cut into it because it is super long. Like, as you can see, this is super long, but it's supposed to drape down here. But if I were to take it in, well, it does actually kind of fit my arm pretty well. So maybe I won't take it in that much because it does actually let me show my hand. But this is the new place where the seam will be. So that's nice, definitely a little bit more my style and whatnot, but I do need to get a couple things, but this is the thing that I can work on right now without going to the store at least. So this is what I have now. This is the hem where it lies now after sewing it together. It's definitely a rushed, lazy sewn together bit because I don't have a serger, nor do I even know how to do anything like that. My sewing skills are very simple, but as of right now, all I have for the costume that I can actually wear is this, which goes over the arms, and the skirt and the top. So again, I need to source a couple items. I need a white tank top or a shirt or something. I need something that is this color, like a ribbon or something that I can tie around the waist. That has to be pretty long because this is really short. And lastly, this one I'm going to actually make myself. I know that these are kind of for like holding the blue sash and everything on there, but I just might make this as it is because I can just hold the sash. Yeah, so I just have a few things to source, but at least the big part is done. This is what it looks like now. This is where the hem is now instead of all the way down here. It's not perfectly on my shoulder because my shoulder is right here, but I didn't want it to be completely up here. I wanted it to give some room because I still kind of want this to drape over my hands. So this is the sewing progress that I have right now on the top piece, and I'm not gonna lie, I do not know how to serge like I said in my other videos, so it's a little jagged and a little rushed, but you know what, we can always come back to this and fix it up. But now is the harder part, because I've got to go to the store and I've got to find a green that looks like this and some sort of silky material that looks like this for the belt. Wish me luck. And for jewelry and such, it didn't come with a costume, so that kind of sucks. So there's a couple things, and I'm looking at this as a reference because this is the outfit that I'm going to be wearing. So there's a couple things that I need to get. I haven't checked the wig yet, so I might potentially need to get some beads for her hair, but I know I need to get the earrings, I need to get the roses up here in her buns, and I need to get the necklace, which you can't see. But for the earrings, I think I've kind of got them covered. My mom lent me these earrings, which are two little dangly pieces. These are actual jade, so they kind of seem like, you know, they would be you know, time period appropriate, but as you can see, they're not quite perfect. They are like the little dangly bits, but she's supposed to have like this little like golden piece up here. But with the wig on, you're not really gonna get to see these guys a lot anyway. So you know what, I think it's more important to have the shape than the full piece. So you know, these will work, but I will need to go to the craft store for everything else. I'm gonna cry. This is what the wig looks like out of the bag. Oh my god, this is gonna need some work. So first and foremost, let's talk about what needs to happen with this wig. So first and foremost, let's start in the back. So this one has a bun, and so the Mau Mau cosplay that I'm going for is the garden party. So instead of having her signature one bun, she has two buns. So I'm gonna take this bun back here and split it into two pieces and make two smaller buns. And then the bangs, they need a trimming. I think the side pieces here, these are pretty okay. These are fine. I look whack here. These need to come down just a bit. They're just too far in the back. They need a little bit more volume here anyway. So I'm gonna move these down a little bit. So this is what the wig looks like before I mess with it. Okay, and this is the result of me styling the wig. It needs a little bit of work. These buns need some more work because I need to get some pins, but all the pins that I have for wigs, like bobby pins, they're all like pink. So I need to try to get some that are either like black or like green or something. Probably black, that's probably easier to find. I need to shape these bangs a little bit better, but it's easier to do that on a mannequin. But I did take the hair and I poofed it out just a little bit more. It didn't come with the beads, so I will have to get the beads. But yeah, this is much better. Also, you can kind of see my hair, so I might have to glue this piece down on the side here because it kind of comes just a little bit up so you can see my hair. But you know, I think the hair does a pretty good job of covering it here. I did actually go in and take some of the side piece hair and turn it into bangs, which again, I do need to go in and fix those up because they're hard to do on your forehead. So I like to do it on a mannequin head. But yeah, so this is the wig after some styling. Needs a little bit more work, needs some hairspray, some bobby pins, some more trimming, but it's definitely better than what it was. Okay, so it's been a few days and I have a pimple patch on now, but I did go to the store and I did find some stuff. So this is the reference that I used for my costume. This is the belt and some of the what is it called, like ribbon stuff, I guess. It's supposed to go around your body, but I use this as a reference. I'm going to cut these pieces off and just use this Velcro because why would I waste good Velcro? Because I can't use this. So let me show you the fabric that I got, and then I'll show you some of the other pieces that I got. So for fabric, I just kind of tried to do whatever I could with what they had at the store. So I couldn't find a tank top or anything like that that would go under the actual, like, you know, robe. I can't think of words. And so I found this piece of fabric, and I think this fabric here will work the best, so that way I'm just gonna make like a tube top out of this, and I'm just gonna like lay it down like this, and that way I don't have to hem the top, and it kind of gives that kind of edge at the top that Mau Mau wears, so it's gonna kind of like come around kind of like this. So I do think that is the best case scenario for this piece. So I'm gonna make a tube top out of this, which is just kind of like white flowery stuff and whatnot. So that's one piece of fabric, and I tried my best with these next two. Not quite perfect on the more silky stuff, but I think the pink here is pretty much 1-to-1. This is the fabric that I bought. This is the belt. And lastly, this is the more silky kind of fabric. And as you can see, there's definitely a little bit of a color, like kind of like, you know, difference. Like this is a little bit more on the burgundy side, this is a little bit more like pink raspberry or something, but I think it'll be close enough. It was either this or get one that was a little bit on the darker side, a little bit more of like a wine color. So this is the best I can do for the fabric. And for this green part here, I really didn't want to have to, like, you know, find fabric and sew together, because this is just fabric sewn together, like a little ribbon. So So I found some. It's not the perfect color, but this is the closest that I could find. This is a hard color of green to find, like this kind of like minty green, but a little bit more green. So this is the best that I can do. This is just a ribbon. I'm just gonna wrap this around me and tie it and leave it kind of long at the front, because that is the best case scenario here. And I did get a zipper so that I can make a tube top, which will be super easy to get out of. Okay, and lastly, I had to kind of do with what I could find. I had a really hard time trying to find anything that matched what Mau Mau was wearing. So for her hair pieces, she technically wears like 3 golden roses, and I found something like that, but it was red and it was fabricy and it kind of looked a little bit cheap and tacky, and I wanted to kind of like show like more of a like royally bedazzled, whatever that word is, kind of side with this costume. And so I wasn't gonna get those, even though I could have painted them, but I just don't think I have the time or the patience or the skill to paint them. So instead I just got these 2 roses. So instead of doing 3 roses, I'm just gonna do a 1 right now. So these are like golden roses flowers that I'm just gonna put up by the loop, so at least I have a little bit of, you know, something that's matching what she has where her hair loops are. Okay, this is the hardest part because I could not find a single charm in this craft store that was a pink flower that looked like a cherry blossom, because they had a couple things that I could have done more with. But I think what I'm gonna do is I am just gonna buy this necklace. I found it on Amazon. I'm just gonna buy her costume necklace eventually. I just don't have the time right now because the con, as I'm recording this, is in 4 days. So I found this golden chain and I got this flower here. It looks a little bit yellow because my camera light is shining on it, but it pulls more pink. Like you can kind of tell down here, it pulls a little bit more pink when I have like the costume and stuff all on. So this is what we're gonna use for right now. It's a little bit big and something that I probably don't know if I would wear in my daily life, but it is pretty and it is, you know, it's kind of pink. So we're gonna go with this for now. And last but not least, we have the beads. So my mom is like a jewelry person, so she's already got some like little beads and stuff. So she has these 2 silicone beads. They're not the perfect color. I could probably update these in the future, but they're as close as I can get. So I've got some string and I'm just gonna like make little ties to kind of go around the loops on her hair, because I've been trying to debate how can I like slide the hair pieces through one of these. I debated cutting them open and then like gluing them back, but I'm like, you know what, that's a little bit too much work. So I think I'm gonna tie them around and we're just gonna have to go with that. This costume is definitely going to need some updating in the future, but as of right now, this is what I'm going with. So let's go ahead and get to work. I want to start with the wig because that's gonna take the least amount of time to fix up, and then we're gonna dive into the sewing. Yes, hello, look at the mess. Look at the goob. So, I have cut out all of the pieces. This is the extra fabric. I went in and I seam ripped where the Velcro was over here. They had it sewed in, but I think I might just like glue it together because it holds up pretty well, but we'll have to see just in case if I need to sew it. I probably ought to sew it just in case, but I have all the pieces done. I need to hem everything, and then I need to put the zipper in here and get this attached to here, but I'm not going to do that tonight because it's too late, and that's going to take me like possibly an hour, hour and a half, but every piece is cut for right now. Okay, so this is the sash that I made. You can see I've got the Velcro back here. I might need to either flip this over or like take it in. Let's try like flipping it, because like the piece that I have up here for some reason is a little bit like less tight, and I want it to be a little bit tighter up here. So let's try it possibly this way. See if that is any better. A little bit better. I might need to take it in just a little bit because it's not quite as like tight as I want it to be, but I think it'll be okay because I do need to tuck some stuff into it. But yeah, this is the belt that I have. This is the string that ties into a bow, so I'm gonna do this with you guys here. This, honestly, I might make like a loop or something. Maybe I'll even like measure it out and like put like a stitch back here where like the Velcro is, and keep it with the costume instead of just like tying it and untying it. And if I can open it, that would be helpful. Come on, let's open. Hello, please. Please, sir. Oh my god, I'm struggling. They really taped this one up. But yeah, this was the best color that I could find. This is a really hard color, apparently, to find for a green. So I did what I could. So we got this kind of more like sheer, sparkly kind of green. So, you know what? It is what it is. But I want quite a bit. It's supposed to be pretty long in the front. It's supposed to tie down like a bow. So let's see. Let's take a look at it. So you kind of want it to tie like this, and then like you want it to be kind of like long in the front. So kind of like here, I think that's a pretty good place. So I'm gonna cut that. I just wish that it was a little bit more like, you know, like opaque, I guess that's the word, because I want, you know, it to stand out and be seen a little bit more. I don't know that I fully love this, so I am honestly kind of debating about like taking this one and like maybe trying to salvage this piece so you can actually see it a little bit better, and taking this and like kind of making the bow a little bit longer with these pieces. But I don't know, this might be fine. I don't have a whole lot of time, so who knows, we'll see. But I mean, this is kind of what I've got for now. Mau does have like, it's weird because there's like two different like versions, I guess, of this outfit, and you know, based on different people's cosplays, it's always gonna have a little bit of variant, and sometimes the art has variants from like manga to anime. But in some photos, she has a flower here, like on the side. In some photos, she doesn't. So I think I'm gonna leave the flower off for now, unless I can like find one, or if I see that it is actually like in the official art, which is this one. Well, technically, I guess it is, because you can see the flower in the manga. So I have some roses. I might be able to cut one off and like stick it over here. That might be easy, but that's something that I'm gonna leave to the very end because honestly, I don't have too much time to do it, and it's an extra little detail, but we'll see. But anyway, this is one piece done. Tomorrow, we're gonna go in and change all the fabric and the thread and stuff in my machine. And what I plan to do here is to just make like a tube top so that I can zip it up to go under, because I have a white tank top that I'm gonna wear like over everything because this is kind of sheer. So I'm gonna wear a white tank top, and this is just mostly so you can kind of have this, like, you know, as you can see, like the undershirt area. I felt like the flowers would be really pretty here, and that way I didn't have to hem the top. So that's what we're gonna do tomorrow, and I think we'll be done. So maybe I will make time for the flower. Okay, I ended up stealing one of my flowers. So I'm gonna take this and I'm going to probably hot glue it onto here. The flower is on. Okay, so this is the cos test the night before. Honestly, it's pretty much perfect. The only thing is I wish this was a little bit bigger because unlike Mau Mau, I do have the boobs, and so I'm gonna try my best to kind of like do like a bind or something tomorrow. I just wish that this pulled in a little bit more, but it's not. But I'm pretty happy with this. I might even take this in just a bit more to give it more of a shape, but we'll have to see. I literally am just finishing this costume the night before. But it's pretty much done. Costume complete. Everything was done on time. Okay, so this is the costume without the wig on. I'm gonna put the wig on in just a second. So yeah, I would say that this works pretty well. The only problem is that the tank top that I'm wearing, if I move a lot, you can kind of see it here a bit. But you know, if I just kind of keep this closed and Mau Mau's hair should kind of drip down like this, that'll fix it. But yeah, this is what the costume looks like. Give you a little turn around. Yeah, I'm actually really happy with this. There are some things that I do want to work on, and I do need to fix this belt a little bit because I am actually filming this. Sorry to spoil anything. I went to con and then I came home and I was really sick, so I wasn't able to actually showcase the costume to you guys. So I'm doing that now, a couple days after the con. And the morning of the con, I did have to go in with this belt and take it in about 3 inches because it was just too loose, and I wanted to kind of like come in a little bit, so like, you know, hug in the waist just a little bit like a belt should. So I need to fix the belt up a little bit. That's pretty much it. I do want to get the jewelry, the actual jewelry. This is what I have right now, is this that I got. I showed you this already, but yeah, let me put on the wig and I will show you guys the full costume then. There's a couple of like issues that I need to fix, like do these buns a little bit better. Maybe get some pins or something to stick in here to like make the wig sit down. I need to fix this because it's a little bit floppier than, you know, this one over here. But anyway, I'm really proud of this costume. If you guys have any ideas of like what I can do with these beads though, because I don't love these beads, let me know down below in the comments. But anyway, here is the costume. Hi, Editor Em here to say that these are the cosplay photos that I have took, that I have properly edited, and if you want to see all of the photos, they'll be on my Instagram. I'll throw it up here on the screen. This is actually where I'm going to be putting all my cosplays now instead of my old cosplay account from when I was 14, believe it or not. Yeah, that's still around, but if you want to see all the costumes, they're going to be over here. I also am going to be posting, literally the next video will be the con vlog / haul, so if you're excited to see that, please stick around, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Bye bye!